Haven't done this in a while.
Everything I said I knew, I went and did it, bitch. WatchMeMakeIt.com. Witness it.
Back to my bread and butter, so to speak, my long format videos. Ladies and ugly men, thank you for joining me. Feels good to be back in this track. This is where I'm most comfortable. I know y'all like the little short reels and the little quick hitters, but you know, this is what I enjoy doing, right? Sharing information that I've learned, things that I feel are gonna propel us, get us ahead, right? Because that's what it's all about to me. It's all about growth. So for those of you cool guys that don't need start off points, New Year's is for suckers. Oh, just today is the day I can do it today. That's cool, man. Listen, I agree with you. I understand the logic behind it, but I know the people like me, right? Like we like start off points. We like what I call launch points, right? Whether it be a Monday, whether it be the first of the month, whether it be New Year, whether it be something like making your bed, which apparently is not cool anymore. Oh, I never make my bed and I'm a millionaire. Good for you, twerp. No one on God's green earth believes making your bed alone makes you a millionaire. There's people like me that it's a good habit to get into. It develops a routine. We need routine. I'm a visionary. So my mind is all over the place at all times. I'm always putting things together. I'm always figuring out new paths, figuring out new things to do, figuring out how to improve things. So routine, like making my bed in the morning. I'm staying at a hotel and I make my bed. Think I do this shit because I think it's gonna make me a millionaire? No. I do it because it's a anchor point for me, right? Something that gets me going. It gets me in the right direction. I need that. Just like you need your cup of coffee, I need to make my bed. It's just my thing. With all that said, for those of you that don't believe the fourth quarter exists and that you need that to start something, cool. This video may not be for you, and it's totally okay with me. Some things might align with you, some things might not. And we have to learn in this world that there are certain things where there is no right or wrong way. I mean, there is right or wrong when you're killing a child in cold blood just because you're angry. That's always gonna be wrong. So let's get to it. I'm at this event in Vegas, right? It's called the Storage Syndicate. It's actually a mastermind that I joined, ran by Joe Evangelisti. I've been following him for years on the wholesale front. He knows, he see me at all his free shit all the time. And I finally jumped into one of his masterminds because I think storage brings a different dynamic to real estate investing, right? There's a lot of intricate parts to it, but when all is said and done, the bigger part of it is it hasn't failed in over 40 years and it's been tracked. There is no downturn to it. If anything, when it gets worse, it actually gets more beneficial. Crazy. I know. So anyway, I joined that mastermind, and this is why it's important. I'm gonna get to the fourth quarter stuff. Relax, people. But this is why it is important to take action on things that your spirit calls you to do, right? Things that align with your soul. You're just like, f it. I know it doesn't make sense, but it brings me joy. It brings me peace. It's therapeutic. So one of those things for me is my music. Another thing of that is my podcast. Those two things, when I tell people I do it, their question is always, what does it bring to you monetarily? And my answer is always nothing. Will it bring something in the future? Would be nice. Do I do it for those reasons? No. I do it because, again, it's therapeutic to me. It detaches me from the work life that I live on a day-to-day basis. These are things that help me escape. I'm a Pisces. I need some escapism sometimes. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'd be ignorant to say I don't need it. I know I need it, right? Like, why lie? That's another thing that makes me me. I'm very, very, very in tune with what makes me rock, what doesn't, what works. It's just not gonna be for me. So I joined this mastermind, and Steve Murphy, he's the person that initially got me in on the sales call. We talked, like I was ready to roll. Steve, you know I was ready to roll, but it was a good convo anyway. We connected, found out later on, his birthday's March 9th, I'm March 5th, Pisces gang all motherfucking day, hence the connection. He hits me up, I guess he Googled me, you know, out of nowhere, and I guess he found my social media, and he's like, bro, I didn't know you had music on Spotify. I didn't know you had a podcast. Dude, I want you to speak at our next event. I want you to be like an MC. Now, I'm big on vision boards. I'm big on having accomplishments that you wish to reach. You call them goals, I call them accomplishments. And actually my vision board thanks to, damn it, I forgot his name. I'm gonna get to it, I promise you. I'll put it down here or something. But he calls it an intention board, and that's kind of like my new view for it. It's a vision board, yes, obviously, but it's an intention board. I intend to make these things a reality. On my vision board, I have a cutout of Tony Robbins speaking in front of a crowd. I want to be a speaker. I feel I'm good at it. I love hearing myself talk. People seem to love to hear me talk, hence why you're watching this video this far in. It was on there, mind you, when I joined this mastermind, it was a hefty price, but I wanted to be in it because I know the future in storage is big. It's something I had in me that I wanted to find out about and learn about. And what better than to team up with people that are already doing it in many ways. So I joined, and had I not listened to my inner voice prior, right? Had I sat there and listened to the silly comments I get about,
"Why are you making music? You trying to get signed?"
I do these things because they fulfill me, right? They make me feel good. I don't talk about the outcome. I know my reasoning behind it. I've shared it before and I'll share it again. When I do these things, I just do them for myself. Had I not followed the things that I wish to do, the things that add value to my spirit, Steve never would have seen that. I never would have been invited to speak at this event. I never would have been even thought of as a host, as an MC, or any of that type of stuff. All that to say this, Thad, when he came on and he did his portion of it, he spoke on the golden circle, Simon Sinek, start with why, how, what, which is the whole Apple thing. Like, Apple starts with why, then they tell you how, then they get to the what. Whereas most of us start with what, how, and the why, right? So it's kind of re-engineering how you think of things. Go back to the how. So anyway, he spoke on that, and it had me thinking about the final quarter of the year. Those that have been following me for a long time or that know me well enough know that I'm very big on quarter four, right? It's my launching pad to start the new year right in the right direction. I even call it the last 92, which are the last 92 days of the year. Might do something around that this year. I'm not sure, but for myself, I will be doing it. Maybe I'll do something, interactive for everybody else. Let's see if the demand is there. It had me thinking about my teams, right? Like my teams when it comes to fix and flipping, my teams when it comes to hard money lending, my team when it comes to podcasts. And one thing Thad said was, everyone knows Joe's vision in the office for the Legacy Syndicate, right? They know his vision, and all their visions align with that vision. And it is why they're able to get over obstacles. Because believe you me, there are many obstacles when it comes to business. Anyone telling you otherwise is a hot damn liar. So when he said that, I was just thinking about my teams, and I'm like, damn, I don't think I'm firm on knowing their whys and vice versa. Like, they're not firm on knowing my why. So one of the main practices I'm gonna take for these last 3 weeks of the month, right? Because quarter four is right around the way, is figuring out my circles, my teams, like what their whys are, letting them know what my why is, and focusing on what the why of our team is, right? Whether that be with my fix and flip team, my podcast team, my hard money lending team, anything that I'm involved with, I have to know their whys, and they must know my why. I think I've made my why pretty evident, but we're still going to rediscuss it. We're still going to reattack it. And I think it's a good idea for those that do care about this type of stuff, those of you out there like myself, let's do that for these next 3 weeks. Let's take the rest of September and really start gearing up to hit it full throttle in October. October, November, December, the last 92 days of the year, the last push before the new year hits. If you're like, yo, you know what? I don't want to do anything for the Christmas season. Cool, bro. Then I'm going to tell you, focus on the last 10 weeks of the year, right? But do make it a point. Do make it a point to really, really focus on how you are going into the new year. I think it's very important. Again, those that don't believe in starting a new year, cool for you. This video is not for you. But those of us that do and really want to get ahead of the new year, let's start with that. For the next 3 weeks, ask yourself daily. Don't make it easy. It's not an easy task. Ask yourself daily, what is my why? Why do I do what I do? Why do I want what I want? Why am I who I am? That sounded right? I guess. Yeah, it should sound right. I said it. I don't say wrong. So let's make that our focus. Figure out your why, figure out your team's why, and let's see how we can all reach it. Because remember, your whys are gonna be different. But if your company culture has a specific why, you're gonna be able to say, all right, well, my why aligns with it because of this, his why aligns because of that, her why goes here. And you might just find out, you guys should not be working together. That is a big possibility. It sounds fucked up, but it's a possibility. It's reality, guys. We're adults. Let's face reality and not run away from it like a huge chunk of the people out there. Ladies and ugly men, I'm Hand. Thank you very much for your patience, for riding it out with me. I just want to say, hey man, you are appreciated. Thank you for believing in me. And more importantly, thank you for believing in you. Stay favored. Yeah.